Who is the best? Welcome again to Barcelona today. Albert Adrià of restaurant Enigma. Vamos! This is Enigma.
Suppose,
The restaurant where probably you won't understand everything.
Welcome to Enigma, and Xavi, nice to meet you.
Enigma Albert Adrià is 3 nights of the best chef awards. 2 times was very close to be the best chef in the world. 2nd place in Yucatan, Mexico. 2nd place also in Dubai in 2024. In the same edition, Albert won a very important award, Revolution, Air Evolution, created to celebrate the year where the best chef changed the system from raking to knives system. What does Enigma mean? Something mysterious, something unclear. Of course, Albert decided to bring the madness, the question, into a restaurant in Barcelona. It makes sense. Let us discover the experience.
Now, behind me, and probably one of the most important things, the heart of the place, where the magic happens, the kitchen, with our kitchen team, the chefs.
Hola.
Welcome and enjoy.
Thank you.
So here the menu of Enigma. I remember it was a lot of dishes. Okay, look like it.
We start the menu with a stronger dish. This piece, okay? Normally, last time we start or before we start with snacks, something snowy. In this case, we're trying to make something different. Let's start more to less.
We chose the menu starting from the end. This is Enigma. It look like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 17 course. I remember more.
Let's continue introducing one of the most important items of the menu, which will be the bread.
Starting from the end, but also we chose the option to let us explain the dishes not before but after we have tried it. We just complicate our life to understand the full experience, but Enigma is an enigma and we need answer.
Why do we call this dish the lobster chuletón? What we are doing is we use mainly the part of the tail of the lobster that we cover in the most intense dry aged fat from beef that we can find in the market. For tonight, we have a 60-day fat that has been previously dry aging. So what we do is that we just slightly grill it for it to have the smokiness and the charcoal flavor, whilst the sauce that you have on the side contains sea coral, as well as mustard and green pepper. We use the ribs to place it on the middle and place more lobster flavor as well.
Okay, the next dish is a Cantonese pigeon.
The skin of pigeon was perfectly scripted. I will speak you in Italian. I will translate with intelligence artificiale because my English is not the best, but never give up, guys. Never give up. Allora, the pigeon skin was so crispy and perfectly cooked. the next one, inside the menu, we have found also the description of, but guys, you don't have only teenagers in your restaurant. We are all boomer almost. It's too small. Okay, black truffle from Teruel is one of the most representative and highly valued products seasonally by hand-toured. Already I have a problem. Okay, you need to be an eagle for it. Albert. We are already all boomers. Today you have experience on lamprey and black truffle sequence. Let's go.
Okay, so next elaboration is a truffle papillon. Okay.
Bomarov or not Bomarov? This is the question, this is the enigma. Let us discover it.
The main ingredients on the dish were, from one side, the beluga caviar and a type of lentil called caluga caviar. So we do a traditional broth using the lentil, using a base of beef, the carrot, the onion, the celery, as if it was a sofrito, but using the lentil. And then what we do is that we only heat a little bit, but we are using it for the caviar. And when it comes to the bone marrow, instead of serving it fresh, we cook it a little bit so we can hold the temperature.
If one Italian is enjoying your food, your experience, your creation, they will ask you scarpetta. Bread for scarpetta. We ask it from the start until from the end until the start. You understand me? Okay, because every dish was delicious and scarpetta was always needed. Albert at the end said to us that never served so many bread as it was in our table. But it's part of the culture because Albert knows very well is really big lovers of Italian food and Italian culture and was more than happy to give us pane per la scarpetta, and we were more happy than Albert.
Scarpetta.
Then the elaboration you just enjoyed, you had on the left hand side rabbit brain, on the right side shrimp's brain, and the base was an escabeche, elaborated only using the rabbit brain. That's why it has a little bit of a vinegary flavor.
The experience is escalating in terms of taste. So if you go to Enigma, you are waiting for the maximal expression of techniques. Of course, they are it, but they are invisible. You don't feel it, you just feel taste, a lot of taste. Wow, love it. Models, what I can say, not too bad, very good.
The main item on this dish, the seasonal one, was a brown morel mushroom. What we do is that we fill them using pulled beef cooked in a Thai broth. That's where the lemongrass, the coriander, and the acidity comes from. Then between morel and morel, you had a green Thai coconut slice. It's very interesting because it is a variety of coconut that it's more juicy and more tender on the inside. So it allows us to work it in many different ways. we do an extraction of the meat of the inside, get to this point, then we portion it in quarters, and to get from here to here, it's where the complicated part starts. Because we have to very thin slice it using the hands with a tiny knife for every single slice.
Artichoke, black and white. The same artichoke with two different tastes and texture.
When it comes to the first one, we are just slightly boil it and grill it, just to provide a different change of temperature and texture. But when it comes to the darkest one, this one has been cooked in a traditional Korean machine called oko. In this case, the result after cooking it for 6 hours, it's flavors of beef, Kalamata olives, and even Moroccan lemons. So the idea of the juice on the base is that it's only the black artichoke juice as well.
So we are now almost on the middle of the menu with broad beans. You will see from the video if it was taste or not. Mozzarella. I will explain and tell you how this dish was born. This dish was born because of one event, a collaboration event in Cagliazzi in Italy at Pepe and Grani Pizzeria. It was Franco Pepe together with Albert Adrià. It was collaboration, the best pizza and the best chef. And this mozzarella is inspired from this travel. We also, beyond the experience there, we visited all the mozzarella place, caseificio.
Vediamo se lo trovo. Buon appetito.
Okay, here I have one of the signature dishes of Enigma. It's a fresh foie gras. The idea is pure fish foie gras with a special salt. It's the anchovy salt, the same salt for make the anchovy during 9 months and have all the flavor of the anchovies. It is covered and cured for 7 minutes.
But before the foie gras, we will get the quisquilla. Quisquilla is a small prawn, very sweet, with the typical blue side.
It was a quisquilla from Motril. Now, we call it the workless quisquilla because once it gets on top of the table, the only thing you have to do is to enjoy it. But here, what we were doing is to treat it almost in a surgical way. So, as you may have noticed, we did an extraction of all of the skin, just for you to have the body, the brains, the eggs, and when it comes to the mustache and the paws, we have buttered them in tempura and then just deep fry it. The surrounding of the dish was a white soy sauce and teardrops of extra virgin olive oil. And now we will finish with the plating of the foie gras.
Finally, the foie gras, as you can see, is a theater of creation, question. It is Enigma. kilo pepper. This is from Navarra, Spain.
It is a very interesting dish because to get there, we elaborate a dough with raspberry and tapioca. Then we have to make very thin to then place it and cook it in the microwave for different rounds to get some sort of a semi-mochi, chewy texture. What ends up happening is that we go from this dough to this cooked result and finish it with a caramelized tequila water.
So we are at the end of the menu, Anzi, sorry, we are at the start of the menu because Enigma breaks all the rules, all the classic standard, sweetness, liquid, crispiness, saltiness, all the texture, all the taste play together in one menu, very well executed. So let us be serious and ask to ourselves, what is the answer of this enigma? Honestly, it surprised me. I was waiting for an Albert, for a chef more destructive, more aggressive to the product, to the ingredients. But it's the opposite, guys. All techniques he creates are at the service of the ingredients. Very direct, very clear. The techniques are not too dominated. The secret, the answer is about condensation, not reduction, just with water. And this makes it possible to leave the ingredients very clean, very clear in taste. It's avant-garde cuisine with the sensitivity of a great Japanese chef. So chapeau Albert, chapeau, and thank you to the whole team of Enigma here on the menu, which I found very fair. You have all the guys working for the full experience. The next video will be the full interview with Albert. Very interesting. It is an interview without politically correct approach. We will talk very direct with Albert about the story, the background, the relationship with Ferran. And yes, this is in the next episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment. If you subscribe, the next I have this for you. I will the best chef hour 2025, like Albert Adrià Enigma. If you comment, plus subscribe, I will, don't worry, it's nothing to ban. I need just to open it. One moment, please. This is from Diverso, you know the guy from Madrid. Pinzetta, eccola qua. If you comment and subscribe, I will send this to you. And for subscribe, like and comments, you can see it, the best chef awards. This is the only one piece because we changed the format. And this is if you like, subscribe and leave a comment. I am joking. Sorry for you boomer, but I am very open to you. I am in love with it. Just we need more activity because we need more audience. Thank you and see you for the next interview with Albert Adrià of restaurant Enigma, Barcelona.